cut a very long story short, I ended up leaving the Navy, and I'm now studying for the priesthood. I didn't immediately study for the priesthood. I actually got a job as a nurse, elderly care rehabilitation. I was a staff nurse on the ward. I was the only male member of the staff. The rest were all females, and that can be dangerous because they do take the mick and they do mess about a bit. I often went home with a hair full of foams, shaving foam or something. Anyway, so I decided I'm going to become a priest, and in fact what made me realise that was the fact that there was this very attractive nurse on the ward, and one day when I was making a bed with her, asked me to marry her, and I thought she was messing me about, because they was always messing me about. In a nice way, I'm not saying they were saying it nasty, but they were messing me about gently and stuff. And I said no, and she got really upset. And I realised she was actually serious. And she was a good 15 years younger than me, which was surprising really to me. So I had to make up some reason for not wanting to marry her. So I said, well, I'm thinking of becoming a priest. And that's when I actually told myself I was thinking of becoming a priest. And again, cut a long story short, I did end up becoming a priest. I joined the Capuchin Friar, I was a friar, Capuchin Friar for a number of years, and then I transferred to the diocese, Southwark Diocese, which is where I am now in the southeast of England. And one day I was on the internet and I saw the website of the USS Nimitz. So I sent an email, which you could do, to the Nimitz, explaining to them that many years previously, as a Navy, Navy guy, the Nimitz crew had looked after me tremendously well. That I thought it was a brilliant way how they looked after me and how generous they were. Signed off saying, I hope the modern crew today is as generous as that crew was then, and signed off as an ex-Navy chief. Anyway, I'd start getting emails, do you want to join the association? So I'm thinking, hang about, they think I'm an ex-American Navy chief. So I thought, well, I've got to make them realise I'm not an ex-American chief. So I sent an email saying, I was an ex-Navy chief, but I was an ex-Royal Navy chief, British Royal Navy chief, petty officer. And then all these emails are coming, I'm being informed, and then eventually said, well, join anyway. And that was in the year 2000. So they had a reunion that year, but I didn't attend because I was still studying for the priesthood, still had a few things to do before I was ordained. So I didn't go that year. But the following year, 2001, just after I'd actually been ordained priest, I came to Norfolk, Virginia, where the Nimitz was based. That's where it was. And we actually went out on the Nimitz and watched the aircraft flying on and off, and it was great, a really exciting day out. And I had a good time, met some of the guys, some of them are here today, tonight. I met them, got to know them, got on well with them. And then the following year we met in Las Vegas, and I was in Las Vegas with them, and Bill Pascal, who actually founded the association anyway, he took me to one side one day and he said to me, Father Peter, would you be willing to be our chaplain? And I said, I'd be proud to be a chaplain. And so he said, okay, you stay there. And he went into the meeting, that was going on, and he said something. Then he came out and he collected me, he took me, and he said, Father Peter has said he'd be proud to be our chaplain. And that was in 2001, and I've been the chaplain ever since. And I've only missed one reunion since then, in spite of coming from the UK, and also in spite of, for 4 years ago I came back to the UK from the Falkland Islands. I was the parish priest of the Falkland Islands for about 8 years. I was also chaplain to the Sea Cadet Corps in the Falkland Islands, and I was also officiating Catholic chaplain of the British forces in the Falkland Islands. So I had a great deal of experience. the word chaplain is sometimes misunderstood. I'm a Catholic priest. As a Catholic priest, I do Catholic things. You know, I do the Mass, I do anointings, I do baptisms, etc. But as a chaplain to the military, that's not what you are. You're a friend to everybody. You're there for them if they need your... And the thing about the British Navy is that with a chaplain, his rank is actually chaplain. He's not a commander or a lieutenant or anything like that. His rank is chaplain. And the reason for that is he has to be able to talk with the admiral or the lowest of the low, anybody on an equal term. And I think actually that's preferable, because when I was in the Falkland Islands, chaplain to the forces, the base chaplain, who was an RAF chaplain, was a squadron leader. And I got talking to him one day, this particular one I got talking to, because they changed every year. And I said to them, I said, these ranks on your arm don't do you any good, because people won't talk to you. And he said, well, that's rubbish. I said, no. I said, some people will, and most people probably will, but there's a lot who won't, because you're an officer. Anyway, he didn't believe me, but almost to rub it in, this young woman, young black woman, come up to me. She said, Father Peter, what rank are you? I said, I'm a chaplain. She said, no, but what is your rank? I said, I'm a chaplain. That's my rank. I'm a chaplain. She said, well, thank goodness for that. It actually made her feel more at ease. And so I served in the Falkland Islands as the parish priest, chaplain to the Sea Cadet Corps, chaplain in the forces for 8 years, and then come away, and I'm now in the southeast of England in a small village parish, very few people, but they're a wonderful group. They helped me tremendously, and basically I have a good time. But each year I come to America, spend a couple of weeks in America, and some of these guys, as I said on Fox News in Pensacola, they're like family to me. If you was to watch the interaction, you can see, it's a core group of us who attend nearly all of, and we're like family. We know each other well. I mean, this time I'm only in the hotel for a few days, but the few days I'm here, but the days before I came here, and for the next few days after I leave here, I'm staying with Tim, who's one of the guys, and staying at his house, and that's often happened. They drag me off to their house and I spend the time in their home, and they say it's like family.